When you launch my third-person game, you'll put to the Start menu. All of the menus in my game have interactive buttons that change colour when the mouse is hovered over them, and then once again when they are clicked. This interaction makes the menus feel a lot nicer for the users to use, and also makes it clearer which button they're about to click so they don't accidentally misclick. On top of this, I've also put all my menus in a grid format, with either being two columns such as the settings menu, or single columns like the main menu. As many applications use this kind of grid layout for their menus, it means the user is used to navigating these, which lets them navigate their menus quickly. I have also used the same shape and size buttons for all of my menus. With the buttons normally being placed in similar positions, such as the quit button always being at the bottom. This kind of continuity makes the menus easier for the user to navigate and means they don't have to learn multiple menus as they are all using the same format. In my settings menu, I have not only used buttons, but I've also used the slider. This is because sliders can be used to change data dynamically, and it is much easier for the user to select the exact value they want, or roughly want. At the bottom of my game's UI, I have put the stamina bar. This is the biggest bit of the UI, as it is the most important bit of information the user can get from it, as the stamina is extremely important in this game. The user should be able to infer that this is a stamina bar, as I have made it yellow, which is normally the colour used for stamina in many other games. The UI for the coins in my game uses a skeuomorphic interface and natural mapping, as even though the player will not know what the circle symbols at the bottom of the screen are, immediately, when they naturally wander and pick up a coin, they will discover that each circle correlates to one of the coins in the level. This not only tells the player how many coins they need to collect, but also how many coins they have. This doesn't even need to be explained to the player, as it is very intuitive, as once you pick up a coin it is clear to see what each of them mean. This also increases immersion, because this is how it would work in real life, because you wouldn't just pick up a coin and have 1 out of 5, you'd pick up a coin and have a coin in your inventory, which is what is shown here. The main interaction in my game is between the player and the AI characters. The AI characters are controlled using a behavior tree and some custom-made blueprint functions. This means when they spot the player, they will chase after them and then search for the player when they have lost sight. If not, they will just randomly move around. There are two interactions at play, as not only is there an explicit interaction as the enemy chases the player around the map, but there is also an implicit interaction, as when the player is spotted, music starts to play and an overlay is put around the outside of the screen. This adds a lot more interaction and makes the game very intense for the player, as it makes the chases feel a lot more dangerous and life-threatening. Another interaction in my game is the teleporter. This is a C++ object, and when the player stands on it, they are teleported to another teleporter. As it is not intuitive what it does, the player should naturally walk on it eventually, as they have no way out of this starter room before they do. And as there is nothing else here, it should link in and they will realise quickly what it does. The teleporter can be taken back and forth, and it will not immediately teleport the player back. My game also outputs unique CSV files that contains information on the interactions that happen during a playthrough. In these files, data is executed at regular intervals, such as player movement telemetry data, which is outputted every second. UI interactions can also be outputted here, such as pausing and unpausing the game, and leaving to go to the menu. Specific game events are outputted, such as collecting coins, and AI telemetry data is outputted whenever their state changes, such as them spotting the player or losing the player. Outputting this data is possible as I made a custom C++ class that can then be used in blueprints to append strings and output them to a CSV file that can then be assigned a unique name. The player beats the game by collecting all 5 of the coins and then touching this triangle here, which will put them to a victory screen and will let them go back to the main menu. If I had more time to work on this project, I would up the graphics quality of it, as it uses very basic graphics. I would also add more content, as at the moment it is only a single level, but this could probably be changed to have multiple. Some other forms of interaction that could be added to this project would be a gamepad. As it is a third-person project, a gamepad would work very well with the control scheme, as one stick could be used to control the player and the other stick could be used to control the camera. This would feel very immersive, as a lot of games use this already. Another type of interaction that could be used would be VR, as this would be very immersive, being chased by many AI. However, VR does not work very well in a third-person game, so the whole game would basically have to be redesigned ground up to be first-person, and it would be an overhaul of everything I've done